Hello, YouTube. Caldalas Gamer with another video. And this time I was playing a unique game, and I'll admit I got very addicted. This game, to me, is very addicting, and I really like it. I think one of the main reason why I like this game is because I'm a huge nerd when it comes to management. It's one of those games where you have to do like economic management and see what you could do to exploit the system and generate a lot of resources, a lot of income. Now, in this game, Frostpunk 2, it's a sequel to the first game, Frostpunk 1, which, by the way, I have it, and I beat in that game like almost three times already. Yeah, I was super addicted to this game. And the sequel, Frostpunk 2, is even better. And what makes this game better is not only the management resources, but also the faction. And the faction adds in depth character and more pressure of what you should do in terms of decision making. And what I really like about this game is how every faction in this game is morally gray. When I say morally gray, I mean there's no black and white, right or wrong. Everybody has their opinions, and sometimes those opinions they do not go well. Some are noble, like for example in this game Frostpunk 2, since it's a sequel to the first game, there are two factions that carry forward in this game, which are the Faithkeeper or the, I think they're called the Order. But those two factions they're from the story mode, and in this game you could like choose which faction you want to start with, Faithkeeper or the Order. And what's funny is that in this game, the Faithkeeper, me, I'm a little biased. I'll admit I'm biased because of my religion background. The Faithkeeper, they're obviously based on Christianity and you could say the Catholic Church. But the Faithkeeper, they have very noble ideas, which I absolutely love those noble ideas. But what makes them morally gray is that sometimes they're a little bit delusional with their noble ideas. And thus, it makes things in the game worse. While the rival in this game, no matter which faction you choose, Faithkeeper or the Order, a new faction is gonna pop out. So if you pick the Order, you're gonna have a faction called the Pilgrim, which are like the opposing faction towards the already established faction. But me, since I'm a little biased towards the Faithkeeper, they have a opposing faction called the Evolvers, and in my opinion, the Evolvers they're way better than the Pilgrim. And the Evolvers, what I like about them is they're all about merit, adaptation, and more importantly, they do value technology, but they see it as a tool to help you adapt to your environment instead of defeating your environment. And the Faithkeeper and the Evolvers, they're at odds with their ideology. And what I really like about this game is, once again, I'm sorry I sound like a broken record, but this is something I want to point out. What makes this game much better, in my opinion, way better than the first game, because in this game you already have an established faction and an established city carry forward from the first game. Now you have multiple factions that you gotta deal with, and you have multiple different opinions. And everyone, despite their noble opinions, their noble, they think they're right in their heads, you kind of could tell that everyone is both right and at the same time wrong. In other words, morally gray morality, if that makes any sense. Like, this is a moral gray area, and you could tell that despite people have noble ideas that they want the best for everyone else, they're at the same time they're also wrong in certain areas. So the Faith Keeper, they're all about community, family, sharing your resources. You could say there's a little communism in the Faith Keeper because they believe that everyone should get equal pay, everyone should contribute their resources towards everyone. While the Evolvers, their noble ideas is basically adapt to your environment. Don't fight against it because it's useless at that point. And you should learn survival skills. You should learn how to gather more food for yourself. And because of that, they have like a merit-based society, which me personally, I do believe in that ideology. Have a little merit-based, and you deserve more for your hard work. So as you can imagine, the Faithkeeper and the Evolvers, they're at odds between each other, and they're both right and at the same time both wrong. And this is what I love about this game. Like, you could tell that all the factions, they have good intentions, but at the same time sometimes their intention could lead to bad outcome. As the old saying goes, good intention is a road to hell, or yeah, the pathway to hell. So it kind of forces you to make questionable moral decision. But what you want in this game, what this game is trying to tell you is basically this: you're not gonna please everybody, but you need to look at the bigger picture. And despite you cannot save everyone, you could definitely save the ship, if that makes any sense. So I know that sounds very bad, but that's the theme of Frostpunk 2, and that's what I love about this game. This game is not black and white. It's absolutely morally gray, and you could tell if you pay attention to the faction, everyone is noble, everyone is sort of right, but at the same time, everyone is wrong, and sometimes everyone has ideas that are outright bad. And that's what I really love about this game. I really do like this game. So yeah, and as of me making this video, guys, Frostpunk, the next game, is called 1882. I'll double check on the title of the name, but a new Frostpunk game got announced, and me personally, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see what's the new mechanics that it's going to bring into the table for the new game. Oh, and by the way, aside from story mode in Frostpunk 2, if you try the endless resource mode or the side mode, you're gonna have a bunch of other different factions. And once again, the same thing I said in story mode, everyone is right, but at the same time, everyone's wrong. So in the side mode or the side quest mode, you're gonna have a bunch of other different factions, and they're all kind of fun. Like, one of my favorite faction in the side quest is the Ice Bloods. The Ice Bloods, they are pure survivalists, and they believe that the strongest should survive. While at the same time, there's another faction called the Legionnaires, and they're all about keeping everything in order and technology. So I kind of like the aesthetics of that. And there's another faction that's all about capitalism. I think they're called the Lords, and I honestly kind of like their aesthetics wise and old fashioned British. But yeah, so I'm having a blast with this game, and I really love the morally gray area of this game. And me personally, I kind of wish to see more of this. I kind of wish to see more this type of theme in video games where everyone is sort of right, but at the same time, everyone is wrong. The last time I had a video game where everyone was sort of like that, like morally gray, is Fallout New Vegas. Sorry, guys, I'm cracking my voice. Fallout New Vegas, that was a beautiful game, and the main reason why everyone loves that game is because everyone had in that game, all the characters, all the factions, they all had good intentions, they all had noble ideas, but at the same time, they had flaws. They're not black and white, they all have morally gray, you know, aesthetics into them. So that's why Fallout New Vegas, it was considered one of the best Fallout game ever, because everyone in that game was morally gray. Nothing was black and white in that game. And I really do like games like that. So guys, I'm gonna end it here because I feel like I ranted enough, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Like, this is why I got super addicted to Frostpunk 2, because it's basically a city building game with resource management and survival, but more importantly, it's a game where everyone is morally gray. No faction is black and white. Everyone has different opinions. Everyone is sort of correct, but at the same time, everyone is sort of wrong. And I really like that. Well, guys, Cadalis Gamer over and out. And please like and subscribe. All that's jazz. Thank you guys, and goodbye.